Good evening, America. Welcome back to another episode of Break the Machine podcast. It is Wednesday, midweek, hump day. We are almost to the weekend, fam. This month is just blazing by right now. I've been very busy this week at my new job, so I haven't had time to really do anything. As you guys know, on Monday, I just, I was out of touch with the news. I tried to stay a little bit in touch today, but it's just everything's happening a mile a minute, so it's just kind of hard to stay up, especially with the new, like I said, with the new job. But it just great job. Just sucks driving 45 minutes both ways to get to essentially go 15 miles. It's insane. What is going on, General Mills? It is good to see you. Speaking of General Mills will be with us, aka General Mills, aka Canadian Black MAGA, will be with us on Friday night with myself and Red Day Walker, and he will be bringing us up to speed on all things Canada. Um, I'm pretty sure he's got a lot to say about what's going on in his country. We have to remind you guys that our Canadian cousins, we do have some Canadian conservative cousins up there that are really fighting, busting their tail to try to make things happen for themselves. So we will see what happened in the last election. I'm pretty sure he has a lot to talk about come Friday. With that said, also Tom Lee's going to be back with us on the 30th. He's in the United States actually with his wife on vacation during that time, so he's going to be live from the U.S. hanging with us. We will probably not have a panel. I'm not going to do a Patriot panel this month, and definitely not next month because I'll be at the end of the month. I'll be taking some time off to go on a vacation. But I will bring it back probably in July. We're going to bring the Patriot panel back and whatnot. I just kind of made a decision that we're just going to chill on that for a little bit. It's been a little hard for me to kind of get people together, especially these last couple of weeks. Reaching out to people, and I haven't had the time really. So I don't want to. I just don't want to try to get people at the last minute, and then we just don't have a panel at all. So on the 30th, it would be myself, Red Day, and Tom Lee Booze. If you'd like to support the show, there's a Buy Me a Coffee link at the top of each chat, both Rumble and YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe, fam. Okay, that helps us with the algorithm on both YouTube and Rumble. Sign up for the Discord. We are definitely going to have a movie night this weekend. We're gonna figure it out by Friday. We'll let you know what movie is going on. Jonathan and Rognina is supposed to reach out to him because I told her that it was her turn to pick a movie because she's been chilling with us the last couple of movie nights. Her and Jonathan have been hanging together. Um, what is that Streamlabs thing, Jonathan? Is that new, bro? Something you did for us for the show? That's awesome. Um, Pretty neat. I gotta see what is that. That's on the Rumble side, right? Take a look at that. Oh, it's for X-Ray Girl. Yeah, X-Ray Girl is cool people. Um, Help her out. She's a gamer. She's with the Nerdrotic crew and whatnot. She's just really good people. You'll find her on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. with That Tug's Life, and they do Poor Choices. It's a pretty neat show. So definitely, if you can help them out too, help them out. But you should go check out their stuff on Wednesday nights. Poor Choices. So a lot of stuff to get into tonight. Again, like I said, I've been a little bit out of the news cycle all day because I've been busy, but I've been trying to stay up with it a little bit. So, first thing up on the docket, all right, is I don't know if you guys have seen this. This was just, if everybody's heard of Rikers Island in New York City, is just the the correction officers are not in control of that island. It is just infested with like some really hardened criminals that completely and totally control everything that goes on in Rikers. Well, federal government, I guess, has stepped in with this judge. It says judge strips New York City of control over Rikers Island, city's unprecedented violence and mismanagement. That's what it's due to. Federal judge has stripped the city of control over its notorious Rikers Island jail complex, citing unprecedented levels of violence, systemic mismanagement, and a blatant disregard for court orders. In a scathing 77-page ruling released on Tuesday, Chief U.S. District Judge Laura Taylor Swain officially stripped New York City and its Department of Corrections of full control over Rikers, citing a decade of failure to protect inmates from grave and immediate harm. including unconstitutional levels of violence, abuse, and systemic mismanagement. I'm just curious to see how that's going to go. Who's going to run that shit? The ruling issued in the landmark Nunez versus City of New York case appoints an independent Nunez remediation manager to take control over key safety and use of force functions of Rikers. Yeah, I'm interested to see how this is going to play out. There's some really hardened criminals in Rikers. Uh, some really, really, really nasty folks there. The decision comes out that Judge Swain previously found in the city in found the city in civil contempt of 18 separate provisions of the consent judgment and multiple court orders dating back to 2015. They have a history of over Rikers Island of like serious corruption with the correction officers there, and that's the correction officers from the city of New York, not the state. Although there's state issues too, it's a real issue, man. It's a nasty place. I'm really interested to see what is going to go on there because an independent who's independent? Like who's the one who's going to really be? Is it they're going to give it to a private company? Those a lot of those aren't all that great either. So I'm just pretty interested to see what's going to go on there. Yeah, right. It's almost like they shouldn't be in charge of. I'm with you, Jonathan. It's like they shouldn't be in charge of prisons, but you know, Rikers Island is a nasty place. A lot of hardened criminals there. It's not an easy place for anybody, no matter what your crime is. And the gangs run Rikers Island. It has nothing to do. The correction officers don't have any control. Many of them are very, very corrupt, and part of them, a lot of them were gang members themselves prior to, so they help their peoples out. It's a really fucked up situation there. Um, I'm just interested to see. I don't know if you guys noticed, my sponsor went ahead and got me a hat. I asked for a black hat with the logo on it, it's like a rocket during the shows. So, speaking of sponsors, make sure you guys, are looking out um, and taking care of Scars and Stripes Coffee. There, if you want a brand that's America first and all about faith, family, and freedom, Scars and Stripes Coffee is your brand. They do a lot of different stuff with veterans. They're trying to help veterans with entrepreneurship. We had Chad Watts on not so long ago, the owner, and he broke it down for us. So, let's you help me out too, obviously by buying it. Now that they sponsored the show, and you'll see this ticker going across every channel on every show going forward with the link and the coupon code just in case it doesn't show up in the link if you click on it. But you know, getting back into the news, crazy stuff going on, crazy stuff. Well, on the bright side of things, MAHA is still at it, right? Like, JFK is going at it. He's doing his thing. The government has been listening. He's running the show now, right? So Trump has said, hey, this is what you're going to do. Go do it. I'm giving it. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's comfortable too. It fits right and everything like that. So I'm feeling it. Um, MAHA has been a thing that people have voted for. One of the reasons why RFK was picked. He brought a lot of people over to our side. We can't deny that. And even if they didn't agree with everything that Trump was doing, the one thing they wanted to see was if we're going to give you your support, we wanted to see that RFK Jr. was running the show when it came to our health. Well, MAHA is doing their thing. They're still rolling. They haven't stopped. It's been just nonstop. Says the FDA's latest MAHA move would wipe out kids' fluoride prescriptions as health risk evidence mounts. The Food and Drug Administration, excuse me, announced on Tuesday it is taking a step toward ending outdated practices related to children's health. Thank the heavens. And will begin removing ingestible fluoride prescriptions and drug products for kids from the market. So, that's good. Health and Human Services and the FDA are taking a bold action to protect America's children by initiating the removal of unapproved ingestible fluoride prescription drug products from the market. Department of Health and Human Services spokesman Andrew Nixon told Fox News Digital on Tuesday. These fluoride prescription drug products given to infants and toddlers have never been approved by the FDA. That doesn't surprise me. There's so much shit out there that's not approved by the FDA. But then again, the FDA has turned into a shit show anyway and pose real risks to developing children, including harm to the gut microbiome, potential thyroid dysfunction, weight gain, and even reduced IQ. Well, the reduced IQ, those reports have been coming out for a while now. This is not just a public health issue, it's a moral issue. It says this marks another step toward delivering on our Make America Healthy Again promise by ending outdated practices and putting gold standard science at the center of children's health, he added. You know, a lot of states are doing a lot of things with this fluoride. I know that in Florida, okay, DeSantis is doing their thing. We're gonna play a little stuff from DeSantis. He's constantly rolling. They've been, there's some locales in Florida that are pushing back on the state when it comes to fluoride and whatnot. Some of the blue areas that still remain in Florida, they do exist in Florida, even though Florida has shifted even further to the right. Uh, when it comes to both national and local elections, there's still some blue. There's definitely still some blue there. Uh, and they're pushing back on the state. But I'll tell you one thing: Ron DeSantis is doing his thing. Got to give credit where credit is due. So we'll listen to a little bit of Ron.
That brings us here today because we're going to be talking about two pieces of legislation that I will sign. The first is SB 700. Now, there's a lot more to that, and we'll probably talk about that. The Commissioner and I will do something in the near future to highlight some of the other provisions. But what this does with respect to putting fluoride in the water supply is it basically doesn't allow that anymore in the state of Florida. It's forced medication when they're jamming fluoride into your water supply. And they did it because, if you have fluoride, it'll help with dental. And I'm not saying that's not true, but we have other ways where people can get access to fluoride. When you do this in the water supply, you're taking away a choice of someone who may not want to have overexposure to fluoride. And there have been studies done, and Joe will talk about it when he comes up, that there are impacts to pregnant women, to children, about having too much of this. And you don't even have to agree with that analysis, but at the end of the day, we should all agree that we want people to be able to make informed consent, have informed consent when it comes to these things.
So I'm gonna keep going, fam, in a minute. So Blondie, what's going on, Blondie? Blondie says that a few of her nurse friends in Florida helped to write this bill to ban fluoride, and DeSantis approved it. That's dope. That's pretty dope. You know, and he's right, right? So, like, again, he's a politician and he's going to say the right things. And, he's saying we're not saying that fluoride didn't have some sort of benefit, but there are a lot of studies essentially coming out recently in recent years that have been, just saying, how bad fluoride can actually be for you, and the fact, that we ingest so much of it. Doing fantastic tonight. It's another great night. It's always good when 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 you're employed. Let's hear some more.
Jamming fluoride in the water supply, irrespective of whatever for the teeth, when you can get that other ways, that's impinging on other people's ability, to have access to water in ways that they may not want to be exposed to what is essentially a forced medication. So the legislature was able to pass that, and we will be able to sign that. Joe Ladapo issued guidance, I guess, like last year, right, late last year, about community water fluoridation due to the potential risks that were associated with exposure. And again, pregnant women and children were at most risk. That this fluoride is a naturally occurring mineral present in groundwater, fresh and saltwater, rainwater, soil, plants, and foods. But the community fluoridation adjusts the amount of fluoride in drinking water to levels that are recommended high enough so that it could deal with the tooth decay. But of course, you can get fluoride in toothpaste other ways outside of that. So what you've seen is these studies have been coming out. People are now looking more critically at this. And honestly, I think because we saw how out of whack some of these medical elites were during COVID, I think people are just much more skeptical when these elites are trying to jam anything down our throats. And so
100%.
There's a lot of people that look at this and they say, okay, well, show me the evidence. The burden is on you to prove why this is a net benefit, which I think Joe would argue it's probably not in terms of health. But the highest burden is, why should this be forced on people? And it really shouldn't be forced on people. So you're seeing more and more places. You have countries where a lot of the municipalities in Europe have moved away from the forced fluoridation. many municipalities in the United States, and a lot in Florida. I mean, we've had a number of counties that acted in after Joe's guidance, but also other stuff that was happening there. So this is, I think, the things that a lot of people want to see done. They want to see protections against this. They understand there's other ways that you can get fluoride if that's something that you need.
Well, it's it's good to see, that it's good to see.
With Employee
It's just
Pricing Plus, you
freaking
pay what we pay and not a dime more. Galliana has two.
and ads, freaking ads, man. Jonathan, you gotta hit me up with with the right ad blocker so that I could freaking start crushing that shit. Um, hey Rogue Nina, what is going on? It is good to see you. Rogue Nina has been she's been ride and die with us for a minute now. Since like I want to say September, October, she's been rolling with us. She mentioned something to me on Monday after the show. Okay. I completely forgot that it was our 75th episode on Monday. I was just rolling, through myself with Red Tape Walker and forgot to mention that. But Rogue Nina reminded me of that it was our 75th, what do you call it? Episode. So, for that, I think that's pretty awesome that we've made it this far. Those of you that have been hanging with us, we really, really appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. Okay. It's been pretty dope. Move with all of you guys and stuff like that, and just to continue to have you guys hanging. So we'll give ourselves some fireworks for the 75th episode because we um but yeah, I'm very grateful for you all that have been hanging with us. We've been, getting on Rumble. We've been getting a little bit more people. YouTube has me completely and totally on ice. They're suppressing the shit out of me, along with like how Instagram gets down and whatnot. Is sad, but it is what it is. I don't know what to say. They're gonna continue to do their thing. So if Rumble's gonna move, then Rumble's gonna move, and I'm okay with it. The more you guys that come over to Rumble, it's more of a free space anyway, as opposed to YouTube when it comes to censoring and censorship. So it's I think it's pretty good. We'll be all right. Rumble, we'll hold it down on Rumble if that's where it takes us. But in the spirit of because Blondie's in the house in Michigan, if you guys were paying attention, this came up in Michigan. This was pretty awesome. I hope they find a way to make this happen. Uh, yeah, Jonathan's been with me for a minute. But in Michigan, it says Michigan lawmakers look to stop minor gender transition. Please, please, God, let this go through. Michigan could join a growing list of states that ban gender transition procedures for minors. The package of bills introduced in both the House and Senate would stop healthcare providers from prescribing puberty blockers and hormone treatments. Also banned would be surgeries for sterilization and to alter genital appearance. I don't know if it will pass. Only those in Michigan will know. Blondie, you should have a pretty good assessment on this. It is time for the experimentation on children in the name of care to come to an end. Amen, said Representative Brad Paquette, Republican of Niles, Michigan. Children are not born in the wrong body. 100% they're not. No one has the right to maim a healthy child's body to try to achieve the unachievable. It is true. So overall, 27 states have laws or policies that either ban or limit gender affirming care for minors, including Ohio. That shouldn't even just be limiting gender affirming care. They should just ban that shit, period. Other than psychiatric help that these kids need, they shouldn't be getting puberty blockers or destroying their bodies with freaking mastectomies and whatnot, mastectomies at freaking 13, and whatnot. Let's see. Ugh. Everyone sees Newsom is about crapping illegal immigrant benefits. Sounds like douchebag is looking at a presidential run. Yeah, that makes sense. Um, yeah, I'm with you, Blondie. I just think that this is just a tough hill to climb with Republicans. Ohio's law, however, continues to be under a court challenge after a judge blocked the ban on puberty blockers, saying other drugs are not banned for minors with parental consent. And think about how stupid that judge is. The legislation would give patients more opportunity for medical malpractice damages and require health insurance companies to cover costs of detransition. Yeah, that is a thing. Detransitioning is a thing, and it's sad, right? Because they manipulate these kids into thinking at a young age. Is there a small percentage of people that have genuine gender dysphoria? 100%. I would say that, we can't dispute that, right? But what has gone on for, I would like to say, for at least the last 2 decades, with the sexification of the sexualizing of our children, um this has been a big part of that, brainwashing them into think that if you're a girl and you're wearing boys clothes for a day because you're a tomboy and you like to play fucking sports and whatever it is, all right, all of a sudden you think you're, no, it's not that you're a tomboy, you just think you're a boy. It's okay if you think you're a boy. Then this is what we're going to do. And then they hide it from the parents and everything. And it's just a whole to do that's been going on for like the last 20 years. So what happens in a lot of cases with these kids who detransition later on in life, when they finally, like, their brain wakes up out of the fog that they've been in, and they realize, and it's just like, well, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to function like this. Okay, either they feel God didn't make me this way, which is the truth. Okay, but even if you take religion out of it, from a biological standpoint, they realize that they're not supposed to be this way. Okay, and that everything that they've been told was just bullshit and a lie. And so I'm hoping Michigan can come through and do some, just do some justice for the kids, in that state. But we're gonna stay on topic in what do you call it, we're gonna stay on topic in Michigan, because our homeboy, okay, Mumbai Mike, is back in the fucking news again. All right. Shmi Thanos is out here, dropping freaking impeachments, trying to impeach. He's just, oh, these are my articles of impeachment for Trump today. Made an ass out of himself. Is not going to go anywhere. They're not going to see the light of a day. It's not even going to get voted on. So, like, it's just, don't worry about it. It's not going anywhere. But he got caught. Okay, he doesn't even know where his fucking constituents live and what areas in his district are. So this was the idiot Democrat trying to impeach Trump, doesn't even know locations in his district. Democrat Congressman Sri Thanadar, okay, I'm gonna call him fucking Shmi Thundar, doesn't even know the locations in his district. Congressman Sri Thundar proudly represents Michigan's 13th congressional district, which includes Detroit, Downriver, and the Grosse Pointes. His website boasts. When asked about the Grosse Pointes, Representative Thundar appeared clueless and couldn't answer a simple question. Thundar is the same idiot who was trying to attack President Trump with bogus impeachment articles. So here we go. We got some footage of him being asked questions, and just got the dude in his Detroit Tigers shirt jersey. He's probably a local, and he's asking this fool some questions, and he's going to be made an ass out of him. He's going to make an ass out of himself, because that's what he is. So let's listen in on this fucking tool.
You're getting nailed with this one. The beagles. You abandoned the beagles, left them to die in their cages.
Oh,
Actual
I love
testing.
animals. Look, I love animals.
Yes, he does. He loves beagles to death. And if there's anything in life that Detroit Congressman Sri Tandahar loves more than beagles, it's impeaching Donald J. Trump.
You want to impeach Trump again, and why is that? Is third time's a charm?
Well, look, he has done unconstitutional activities, broken the law.
Give me a list.
Well, look, he has deported people that without due process.
You mean Obrega Garcia?
Yes, he has.
He did get his process, though. He got adjudicated to be deported.
Yeah, well, look, the Supreme Court asked him in a 9-0 decision to facilitate bringing Mr. Garcia back.
Okay.
And he refused to do that.
What if we brought Garcia to Guantanamo? Would that satisfy you?
Well, look, so he defied Supreme Court orders.
Is this a fundraising stunt? Your campaign owes you $11 million. Why not just forgive the loan? Are you not worth the money?
I always forgive the loan. That's what happened when I ran for governor, and not a penny of my loan was paid by the campaign, and I forgave it. And that's what it will end up happening.
It will end up happening.
Yeah, because
still on the books.
Michigan.
Little trivia.
You guys got to do better.
Where is the Hitsville Museum?
Which museum?
Hitsville.
I don't know.
What are the 5 Grosse Pointes cities?
Well, look, I'm not here to answer a quiz. I'm here to say that I'm going to fight for the people.
He doesn't even know the
of
areas
Detroit.
in his fucking
I'm going to fight
district.
for
Good
my
Lord.
And Grosse Pointe
constituents
and
all of the Grosse
Taylor.
Points and all of Taylor and every
E-course.
every part
he's
of
helping him.
the 13th district.
Can I just do this real quick? Grosse Pointe Park, Grosse Pointe Woods, Grosse Pointe Farms, and Grosse Pointe
Oh, this is going to be great.
You know, on your campaign filings, it says occupation. Yours says United States government. Aren't you employed by the people of the United States?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, you fix that one. Okay, and finally, you're getting nailed with this one. The beagles. You abandoned the beagles, left them to die in their cages at your pharmaceutical
I love
testing.
animals. See, look, I love animals. My family loves animals. We have
Fucking
raised a
looks like an
beagle, a
animal.
Shiva.
Talks like a fucking
Those are
animal.
all, attacks, political attacks on me. I love animals.
Is there an explanation real quick?
I have been awarded by the Humane Society. They've given
This
me
dude.
2 awards as the best legislator in protecting animal rights. So my record is good.
We believe that they have never been outside ever.
Good Lord.
I don't think that they've actually had their paws on the grass.
Yeah, I don't know what all the problem is with it anyway, because
this
those
dude is just
beagles were going to
wrecking him.
die because they're getting tested anyway. So,
Look, I love animals. Thank you.
vegetarian.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. This is good. A couple of the co-sponsors pulled their name off of the impeachment papers. Why is
Yeah.
that?
Well, they have a right to do that.
Of course they do. Well, why'd they do it?
I don't know. You have to ask them.
See you. Thank you. It's Congressman Sri Tanadar, the 13th Congressional District, here at the town hall meeting on the Trump impeachment process. Sure to be a barn burner here on this Mother's Day weekend. Let's go inside, shall we?
Oh, God. Yo, who is this dude? Oh, holy shit. No, you can't make this shit up, fam. You cannot make this shit up, okay? Did you see how empty? He had I think I read it was like a total of 27 people in his town hall. Nobody even knows who the fuck he is. He doesn't know anywhere in his district. He's just out of his freaking mind. Let me just catch up on some just going back to the last segment, from Michigan, Rognini, you're correct, says the lifetime of meds and sickness because of their bodies knows it's wrong and attack itself forever, and the drug side effects from the dozens of drugs fixes nothing, makes hell a million times more. Yeah, you're right, 100% correct. Yeah, give me a second. I gotta what do you call it? I gotta pull it up. So this is compliments of Blondie. Base Blondie gave this to us. So I'm going to play this for you guys. This is something she posted. It's pretty funny, actually.
If we end up in a war with Canada, I'm fighting on the side of Canada. I'm a Michigander, okay? We're spiritually Canadian. I live down the street from a Tim Hortons, and I can tell you the honest to God truth is that a honey cruller did more for me than the U.S. government ever could. I'm just gonna, if we end up in a war with Canada,
these people are fucking sick in the head. Think about holy shit. It's all right, brother. It's all right. Jonathan, it's okay, man. I know that was a freak. I kind of rolled with it because X-Ray Girl is cool people, so it's all good, man. I don't give a shit. If we can help, we all should be trying to help each other out on this platform anyway. So it's all right. You sent the one of Shri as well. Hang on. I gotta let me get to that. Oh yeah. Here we go.
My hair. They talk about my hair. They talk about my appearance. They talk about where I was born. They talk about everything, my looks. They talk about my age. They talk about why I should be deported back to the country where I was born. They talk about my past business dealings and they distort my business record. They do everything. but they talk about my hair.
That shit is funny. They talk about my hair. Yo, we definitely ripped into him the first time myself and Red Day when we showed him on that I forgot how long ago it was when we first introduced him when he was talking about doing this. Yeah, they do love to dish it out. They can't take it. They it is what it is. I don't even pay attention to them anymore. I don't pay attention to trolls. I get hate fucking messages all the time. I just whatever. I don't care. That shit rolls right off of me. Okay. If you're just joining us, please say hello in the chat. It's another Wednesday night. Wild Wednesday is going on. Give you guys a little bit of update if you're just joining us on the 30th. Uh, the real Tomley Boots is going to be in the United States, and he's going to come and hang with us on the live. I'm not going to be doing a Patriot panel, probably this month, and we're probably not going to do. We're definitely not doing it next month because I'll be away at the end of the month. I'll be at a 2-day freaking Metallica concert next month, so I'm gonna enjoy that. I've had that plan for quite some time, and so we'll be probably bringing the panel back around July. So probably be good for that. Anyway, 4th of July. It's a good month for it, so we'll probably bring that back. But this Friday we have Canadian Black MAGA, aka he's Canadian Black MAGA on YouTube, aka General Mills. You know him as General Mills from Rumble. He's going to be with us talking all things Canada with us and bringing us up to speed on the craziness that's going on with our Canadian conservative cousins up north. So we've done England, right? We had Tom Leon. He's going to be back on. Our patriotic cousin from Britain. Now we got Canadian Black MAGA, patriotic cousin from Canada. I'm gonna have to see if we can work on freaking Ireland and Australia. I'm gonna have to do that. So I'm actually looking at somebody from Australia. I'm gonna try to see if they'll come on. I don't know. They got a pretty big account, so uh, but they love it here in the United States, and it's all good. And they talk shit about their own country. They talk shit more about Americans talking shit about America and how stupid it is, and it's kind of funny. But I've reached out. We'll see if he responds. With that said, though, our Canadian conservative cousin, Canadian Black MAGA, will be with us. Don't forget to like and subscribe, fam. Don't forget to sign up for the Discord. Rogue Nina, we need a movie, honey. So by Friday, work it out with Jonathan so I can let everybody know what movie we're watching on Saturday in the Discord. Sign up for the Discord. It's completely free. There's no membership costs or anything like that. You don't have to worry about that. We do movie nights. We're going on our third one, which we're going to do this Saturday, and Rogue Nina is going to get a chance to pick the movie because she's been hanging tough with us. I wasn't even at the last one because my brother came and surprised me. Um, so I'm sure she'll pick a good movie. And Rogue Nina's been with us for a minute. And again, fam, I don't know if you guys like my hat. I do. My sponsor gave me a hat. I asked him for a black hat with the logo on it because I wear black. I wear a black hat. He was like, "Yeah, I gotcha," and he did it. He made one for me and sent it to me, so I can't complain. Um, you know, let's reach out. Let's take care of them. They're a fantastic company. Um, they roast their own coffee here in the United States. They get their coffee from Brazil and whatnot, and Colombia and everything, depending on the blend. And they roast all their stuff here in the United States. And they are a small company, small brand, but they I got a feeling their coffee tastes great because I wouldn't be suggesting it if it didn't taste good or sponsoring it. But I'd rather sponsor them because they're just a fantastic brand and good people at their brand. The owner, Chad Watts, is a fantastic person. Like I always say, he's always about faith, family, and freedom. And you know, it's all right. You narrowed it down to two movies, good. So it's good tasting coffee, and you guys will see there's a link that'll be going across on a ticker across the board here, along with the coupon code just in case. It should pop up if you click on the link in the description under sponsors for the videos. They'll be there. It's always going to be there every video going forward. If you click on that link, it should automatically come up with my code. If not, my code is Big Red, all capitals. So, well, let's keep going. We're done with that idiot, and we just got more stuff to get into. Holy crap! It was just a busy day today. in the news cycle. There's just a lot of shit going on. There's just always, right? It's always stuff. It's nonstop. It just never ends. I'm okay with it. It just keeps us on our toes. We got to keep paying attention to stuff and whatnot. That's what we got to do. We just got to pay attention to stuff. Um, but we talked about on Monday, myself and Red Day, we were talking about the prescription drug prices based on the executive order. Well, the freaking GOP sitting on their ass. One of the things we bitch about all the time about these cookie cutter conservatives, okay, and milk toast rhino Republicans, that they just don't do shit, right? And then when they do something, we give them a big up, right? And we, give them a shout out for doing something right. They're trying to get this tax stuff put together. They're trying to finalize everything with that and make the tax cuts permanent from 2017. We were like, yeah, that's great. But here comes Trump with this executive order in order to try to bring down the cost of American prescription drugs, right? And force the companies to essentially sell us for the same price they sell it for everybody else, right? Well, guess who jumped on that first to codify this for Trump? A Democrat. Democrat Representative Ro Khanna, Democratic from California. Now, it's a gimmick. We know it's a gimmick. Yes, a Democrat has just introduced legislation to codify President Donald Trump's executive order, slashing prescription drug prices. President Donald Trump signed an executive order on Monday aimed at dramatically reducing prescription drug prices in the United States by aligning them with the lower prices paid in other developed nations. On Sunday, President Trump announced via Truth Social his intention to sign an executive order aimed at reducing prescription drug prices in the United States by 30 to 80%. So this guy, okay, we listened to Trump the other day, so I'm not going to reread that. But this guy, he just came out and then he did his thing, right? Look, he puts it on Twitter. I'm willing to introduce real Donald Trump's EO exactly as written in his EO as legislation to be bipartisan and get something done for the American people. Any Republicans willing to co-sponsor, let's then get Speaker Johnson to call the vote. So the fact that we sat back and we let this shit happen, okay, is just amazing to me. So it's either Saint or Tombstone. We're going back to Val. That's fine. Yeah, I'm okay with either one. I like both movies. If you want to watch Val Kilmer like full role as the lead actor, then The Saint. If you want to see him as a supporting actor, but still a fantastic role, Tombstone. So whichever you guys pick, that's what we'll roll with. And then just let me know on Friday. Uh, just shoot it to me in the Discord on by Friday, and I'll let everybody know. Yeah, one dem. Everyone else is just Rogue Nina. It's just embarrassing, right? Like we letting this shit happen. Okay, that we should have jumped on that opportunity. Now I'm gonna give him credit for being politically savvy, and he even said on his Twitter account that he'll leave the executive order as written, and let's just get it in writing. Okay, for a bill to get to the to get approved to get to the president's desk. So he doesn't even want to change anything. So now I think it's a gimmick with them. You can't ever trust them. Uh, but if he's willing to do it, what are we gonna do, right? It makes us look stupid because we're in charge of the House and the Senate, and we're just not doing anything. There is absolutely nothing getting to the president's desk, right? Because if it was, we would be hearing about it. There'd be all kinds of photo ops, and the cameras would be all over it, signing it, of him signing, these bills into law. We got a few things through, right? Like one or two items. Uh, but he had these. We need these big things, man. All these executive orders getting done, and none of this shit is being written into codification to get to his desk. Now, now we know that the Democrats, no matter what it is, they're going to be kicking and screaming. They're going to hands down vote no, right? They're going to do that in both the House and the Senate. And then we have the usual, twinkle-toed dipshit Republican rhinos that will go along with them and, continue to just be assholes. Like this Tom Tillis guy from fucking North Carolina is just a complete and total douchebag. And he's just, he's making freaking enemies of everybody. And, the conservatives, by the way, just to give you a little insight on this fuckhead, the conservatives in North Carolina helped him get elected. Okay. Like there was a conservative push. He ran on a conservative, that he was a conservative and everything. And they helped get him elected. for the Senate, and he's just been a complete and total fucking disaster. Uh, but we say it all the time. We can't trust anybody on either side because they both fucking suck. And our side tends to lean towards the way we as Americans feel. Those of you who watch the show, those of you that are all true tellers and true seekers, they just lean more towards our side. Uh, the Christian conservatives like myself, that this is why we're forced to fucking vote for them, right? And then when we bring up our own candidates, the Republican Party doesn't help them. The more conservative they are, the more fucking pushback we get from the establishment. Uh, we got to root all of them out. But again, that's a local issue thing. You guys got to do it in the states. Find who your local rhino is, and if they've been there for a minute, get rid of them. And then if the next guy you put in or next gal you put in doesn't get it done, get rid of them too. That's the one thing about the House Representatives. We have a chance every 2 years to just fucking cycle people through. Fuck it. You didn't do your job. Bye. That's how we got to get down with them because they won't understand until we start holding them responsible. It is up to us, the populace, to hold them responsible. Like the Senate, these guys are in there for 6 years, so it's a little bit tougher. But with the House of Representatives, you have a chance to make like serious change um immediately. Yeah, Rogue Nina, you're 100%. She says conservatives haven't gotten shit to our president yet, wasting considerable time. Like time is flying by really, really quick. Okay, it isn't like we're not bullshitting when we tell you. It seems like it's not, right? Because it's only really been what, 3 months? Okay, 4 months actually. 4 months next week that he's been in office, but we're almost at the half year mark, guys. All right, and we're gonna be into 2026 faster than you know it. We'll be there, and it'll be like, I mean, you snap your fingers, and 2026 will be here. Uh, yeah, they're just all fucking shitheads, man. But fam, you guys gotta take. We have to take responsibility, okay? And we have to continue to vet people. But like I said, in the House of Representatives, I'm okay with the Saint, guys. If you guys want to do the Saint, that's a pretty dope flick. I'm okay with it. Um, it's just bullshit, man. Bullshit. Um, we got to stop fucking supporting these fuckheads. Well, on the good side of our side, I don't know how many of you used to watch OAN. I used to watch it all the time until they got the left. The big the big communications, the NBCs of the world, the ABC, Disney, Comcast, and everything. They got together, and a couple of years ago, they got OAN kicked off of like every cable provider. Stop broadcasting their stuff. All right. I used to watch them on Verizon. I had Verizon Fios up in the Northeast, and I used to watch them. I going back to like 2014 is when I started watching them. What I appreciated about OAN was they were a throwback. The Saint it is, guys. That's fine. All right. So if you're just tuning in, we're going to be watching The Saint on Saturday. It's Val Kilmer. We're going back to Val Kilmer. Um, it's a pretty good, solid movie from the 1990s, right? Definitely a 90s movie, late 90s, right? Am I right? Wrong on that, Jonathan? Uh, but OAN was a throwback to the way the news used to be, right? So like, they had their opinion cast and whatnot, the people who used to do opinions and stuff. Every news network that has that now. That has just been a thing since the 1980s, with the birth of CNN and everything like that. So that's not going anywhere. But they covered a lot of stuff that was going on around the world. All right, 1997. Okay, late 90s. I was right. They covered a lot of stuff that was going on around the world. Obviously, everything that was going on here in the United States. They're a conservative company. They were right of freaking Fox News at the time when Fox was considered far right. All right, and it was just a great place to get news because it was like I said, a throwback. What's up, Chelsea? What is going on? CRT mom is in the house. Um, it was just a great place. So we'll read a little bit into this. Um, it's good to see. So they're back on Dish. If you have the Dish, if you have the satellite Dish, they're back on Dish. I know that. Says big news: Herring Networks and One America News announced multi-year agreement with Spectrum. That is huge, right? Because that's like all throughout the Northeast into the Midwest and fucking the Southeast going to the Central. That is a lot. Spectrum is like everywhere. This is big news for One American News Network. OAN signs a multi-year agreement with Spectrum. San Diego, California, May 14, 2025. Herring Networks Inc., the parent company of national cable network brands One American News Network and a wealth of entertainment. I didn't realize that all was owned by them too. Is proud to announce a new multi-year content carriage agreement with Spectrum. Under the agreement, OAN and all will be added to Spectrum TV Select. Oh, my dad's going to be freaking ecstatic about that. And TV stream plans. In addition, OAN Live, the direct to consumer streaming platform, will be made available at no additional cost to Spectrum TV customers. That's great. So it's 2 channels for OAN. Three when you think about it. OAN, which is their regular news, all which is the what do you call it, a wealth of entertainment. I didn't know they own that. And then the what do you call it, OAN Live, which is all streaming, which is what people were doing to get to it, right? If you wanted it, you'd have to freaking pay to stream it and stuff. We actually tried to use it on not inauguration, on election night, but we were having problems with the signal. It says we're thrilled to partner with Spectrum to have OAN and all available to their customers across the country, said Charles Herring, president of Herring Networks, expanding viewer access. We look forward to a long, mutually rewarding relationship and encourage fans of OAN and all to subscribe to Spectrum TV in preparation for the launch of our channels. That's freaking awesome, man. I'm really, really happy for OAN. They're making their way back into the mainstream again. Yeah, Owen is freaking great, Rognina. You're 100% correct. Um, it is just good to see that they're making it back into mainstream because they were there, okay, and they were starting to kick Fox's ass. They were getting there. People were just turning. That's where whether you like her or not, what the hell is her freaking name? God, I can't for the life of me where she got her start. Remember her name? Uh, was it Tommy Lauren? Yeah, that's where she got her start. Was on OAN. Her show was actually pretty good at the time. I haven't listened to her in a long time, so I don't know what she talks about now. I think she's on Outkick now, which is essentially Fox. I know she does some stuff for Fox, but I don't know. Yeah, it is available online, Rognina. Yeah. Uh Cable's picking it up again. Satellite, like I said, Dish has it. So if you have Dish, you can get OAN. That actually happened. I want to say I think that happened either last year or 2023. Jonathan, can you find out when Dish picked up OAN for me, please, brother? Um, yeah. It's just good. A lot of people have Spectrum, for everything from internet and it's like, my family has Spectrum where they're at, and they don't even have a box anymore because they just what do you call it? They download the app to the TV and put in your credentials and you get every channel that you would be paying for without having to pay extra for a box. Um, and whatnot. So it's good. I know my pop's gonna be pretty excited about that because he liked the weigh in a lot. He'll enjoy that. They got some good people on there. It is just not the enemy. They're proud of who they are and they don't care what anybody thinks, and that's great. It's great for our side because as far as mainstream media goes, we know that legacy media is dying, and it's all about us now, right? It's just podcasters. It's um, just independent creators who do their own shit all the time, whether it be a podcast or just making videos on a daily basis. That's how, when I started out, that's how what I was doing. I was making daily videos. Every afternoon, every evening, I would make something and drop something around 7 o'clock, and for people to listen to and whatnot. That's how I got started. And then when I started doing my lives, then my homeboy Jonathan Stevie came over, and he kind of helped me out. He would just hang out with me when I first started doing lives. It was just Jonathan and I, right, bro? It was just him and I, man. And he came religiously. He came and hung with me, and it actually gave me the confidence, all right, to stick with it. Um, you know, yeah, you are. Yes, CRT mom was definitely on Tomy's show, and she was on OAM. CRT mom is famous now, but I'm glad she's part of our community because we still love her. We miss her actually, but she's a very busy person. It's good to see you tonight, CRT mom. Glad you're here hanging with us. It's always good when you're in the house chilling with us. But yeah, these are great things. Just winning, guys. Fucking winning, man. Um, yeah, yeah. Yeah, the Jonathan says he used to sit and chat and basically talk to myself. Well, not really, bro. You and I used to chat together. Jonathan and I used to talk. He would literally be in the chat, okay? And yeah, you're famous. We love you. We, we love you. Don't believe it, fam. She's famous now. Uh, but that's all right. You know what? Her hard work and what she's fighting for is worth it. And someday we're gonna get her when everything's all said and done for her. We're gonna get her back on the channel so she can tell the story that deserves to be told to all of you. Okay, if you're not following her already, if you aren't following her, make sure you're following her on Instagram, CRT Mom as well. And she always posts some really good stuff. She stays in touch with what's going on in California, being that she was originally from Cali. Uh, so she's always kind of where her fight started. But again, that's her story to tell. I'm not going to tell her story. We love her, and we just and Mana, we want you back on the show when you get some time and everything kind of calms down and when shit finally gets situated, we want you to just come out and being able to tell it all when you finally can. But she's in a fight, and we can't divulge any of the stuff that she's fighting for. Yeah, we saw. Now, you sure? I saw that post you did. It was a turtle, right? Not a tortoise? Because I'd hate for you to put a tortoise in the water and then it drown. That would kind of suck. But anyway, fam, let's get back to it. Oh yeah. Well, good. Well, you should come on and tell us about it. Yeah, but just make sure you got to make sure that it's what do you call it, a turtle and not a tortoise. Uh, Plenty of people have taken tortoises and put them in the water and then they end up drowning. We don't want that. But hey, like I said, good good days are coming ahead for OAN. I'm very, very happy for them. And I just wanted to bring that to you guys because we'll have if you have Spectrum, um, you have another outlet to watch because I know Newsmax is on there. A lot of people have left Fox to go watch Newsmax. I personally enjoyed OAN out of all three of them more because and it's not like they didn't bring the enemy on the show to talk their bullshit. They did, but it just like they were pretty good at freaking smashing it into oblivion when they came in talking their nonsense. But here's a quick one, fam. So I don't know if you guys have been getting emails. I actually got an email for this, and I thought it was bullshit. Okay, come to find out that it's not. Because we get fucking spammed with such ridiculous emails sometimes, and everything is a freaking scam. But if you guys have been paying attention, okay, it says phone it in. This is from the U.S. Sun. It said Apple Series users can get one-time direct payment from a $95 million eavesdropping settlement, no receipt necessary. Apple users are in line to receive part. Now you know it's not going to be jack shit. It'll probably be like $20. Apple users are in the line to receive part of a $95 million payout from the tech giant to resolve claims Siri secretly recorded them within a 10-year time frame. We all know this. We've been talking about being spied on forever. Payouts will be made per device, but users must submit a claim before the deadline, which is in July, to cash in. The settlement benefits current and former owners of Siri-enabled devices, including iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, MacBook, iMac, HomePod, iPod Touch, and Apple TV, who live in the US. Eligible users have had their private communications obtained by Apple or shared with third parties due to unintended Siri activations between September 17, 2014 and December 31st, 2024. Look, I was right. I called it. I didn't even read this article. I just read the headline. Payments of up to $20 per Siri device will be handed out by the tech giant to settle claims. I knew it was going to be jack shit. They agreed to a $95 million class action lawsuit settlement to resolve claims that Siri unintentionally recorded private conversations and shared them with third parties. Like, listen, our phones record us. All right. 100% turtle. Awesome. All right, good. That's good. It was a pretty neat video watching you save that turtle too. But fam, this is Apple. Okay, we've known that Apple, not just Apple, our devices, your laptops, your TVs. Um, see, CRT mom says I just got 179 back from Clear TSA pre-check and I paid 199 for it for 5 years. Bargain. Awesome. That's pretty no. You just reminded me. I don't use my Clear. I got to cancel that. Um, it's actually my father's because I got it from me and my father, and we don't use it because we drive just about everywhere. Uh, yeah, it was nothing unintended. Everything is listening to us. Like I said, we your fucking TV's listening to you. Uh, it we've talked about this shit. Okay. Yes, Siri definitely records us, continues to record us. I'm with you, CRT mom. I agree 100%. That shit has not changed at all. At all. Okay. It has not. Um, if you're just joining us, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications. Share the video with your fams, with like-minded people. Bring them to the show. We want to build this crew, the demolition crew. You guys are all, part of that construction crew. You guys are all the demolition crew because you guys are always breaking the bullshit narratives. And we want to break the machine. That's why this podcast is called Break the Machine Podcast. And the only way we can do that is with all of you. All of us together can break the machine. So, um, if you see that ticker going across and you feel like getting some pretty good coffee, click the link in the description under sponsors, and my code should be typed in automatically. It's Big Red. If you need it, it was on the ticker. Yes, they're watching us too. Yeah, yeah. The cameras on our laptops, on our phones, everything is. You ever notice how people repeatedly, constantly, whether it's on Instagram or whatever, they uh they put out how to shut off different things on your device because every time there's an upgrade, okay, you get an update on you know uh the Apple iOS or even believe it or not even fucking what do you call it, Android. They update all this shit and they put all these parameters in there so that they can continue to spy on you. Yeah, on my iPad yesterday I was trying to watch some YouTube stuff and my shit just kept crashing. Perfect freaking signal and everything. It just kept crashing. And I was like, what? And it was like, I know it was after an update. They were updating everything. Yeah, you got Base Blondie is constantly getting tormented by Instagram. The IG overlords absolutely hate Base Blondie. Every time she posts some shit, they fuck with her. It's just like it's sad because she posts some really good stuff and everything, and she gets shadow banned all the time. And it's like I rarely collaborate with people anymore on Instagram because not because I don't want to, it's just because like they've been freaking suppressing my account for months now. I've been stuck literally at the same number of followers. I watch it go up and go down when I check it every now and then. And I've been completely and totally stuck there. So as I'm almost at 22,000, but I've been at 21,000 since January. Uh and it's just slowly trickling up. And you know what they do to me too, right? When I view the insights, if I post something, I could have, we'll just say 100 freaking people, and it'll be all 100% followers for a post, okay? 100% followers and like 10 likes, which means that they shut off the like option. You guys ever like something on Instagram? Just anybody's, not even like just a friend, but you go to like something, but then you can't. Like you click it and then the heart disappears. That's exactly what they do to my shit. And all my reels get put into fucking timeout absolutely immediately on Instagram. They're like, fuck you, you ain't making any money on Instagram. Even though, okay, I'm at a point where I can monetize on Instagram. I can't. They just like it's terrible. And I know YouTube is suppressing the shit out of me. I'm never gonna be able to monetize on YouTube. Um it's gonna take like 10 years for me to monetize on YouTube. I'm literally four followers away on Rumble from being able to be part of their creator program. You know, if you have combined 100 people, uh, there's just some parameters I got to meet, and I think I have to, I got to use their studio. I also got to make like 5 hours a month. I think that's just for Rumble Premium people, which I'll do like on Saturdays. I'm not gonna affect you guys who've been with us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I won't do that to you. Um, you guys shouldn't have to pay to see me, but Tom Lee Booz was telling me that his first check from Rumble since he's been able to be part of their partnership was like pretty good one. He's like, bro, and I just did the bare minimum, and this is what I got. And I was like, really? I was like, okay, anything I can do to pay for the channel, uh, to continue going, because times have been a little tough. Yes, Apple's just terrible, right? Their iOS is just terrible. Uh, I've been stuck with a freaking iPhone for a long time. It's just been easier for me and convenient to move my stuff from one phone to the next. I don't feel like fucking around with Android. I know Android's really, really good, but I actually haven't had too many issues other than the basic shit that we know that Apple does. And now they have a $95 million lawsuit. I actually got an email for that. And like I said, I didn't even read the article. I was like, it's probably gonna be like $20. And sure enough, it was $20. It's ridiculous. Yeah, they're not paying anybody anything. It's just a crock of shit. Um, but onward. Let's keep moving, people. Yes, but you listen, it's good that they're getting smashed. What I would like to see is Google get broken up. That would be really nice. I know they're going through it right now in court, but that would be freaking awesome if they got hemmed up a little bit. That'd be nice because they've been fucking with everybody for so long. They deserve everything they get coming to them. I just hope that it comes through. Well, our homegirl Tulsi Gabbard has been doing her thing, right? We've talked about Tulsi on the show. Um, we don't agree with everything that's come out of Tulsi's mouth in the past, but the one thing she has been doing is she's been, the president's mandate is this, she's sticking to it, and I appreciate that about that. It says Tulsi Gabbard fires the top two deep state officials from the National Intelligence Council after their radical opposition to President Trump is revealed. The Trump administration continues to drain the deep state rot deep from within the government. As Fox News reported, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard on Tuesday fired the top two officials on the National Intelligence Council after whistleblowers revealed they were radically opposed to President Trump. The two officials in question are Mike Collins, who is serving as the acting chair of the National Intelligence Council, and his deputy, Maria Langan-Rykoff. Trump officials told Fox News that Collins has several whistleblower complaints against him for anti-Trump bias and undermining the Trump administration. We know that it's deep. That rot is deep. Moreover, Collins has close ties with former CIA deputy director and Spies Who Lie leader Michael Morell. As TGP readers know, Morell organized a letter along with 51 other former spooks claiming that Hunter Biden's laptop had all the classic earmarks of a Russian information operation. Remember that? Russia, Russia, Russia. He did this to give Joe Biden a talking point ahead of a debate against Trump. Trump officials explained Langan-Rykoff was terminated because she had been a key advocate for diversity, equity, inclusion. Guys, I guess they weren't paying attention to the fucking executive order he signed on day one about this DEI shit. She also exhibited several signs of bias against Trump. If they're not there to do your job, follow your orders, they got to go. In addition to firing these two individuals, Fox News revealed that Gabbard is moving the National Intelligence Council from the CIA to the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. Nice. To directly hold accountable any improper action and politicization of intelligence. Gabbard's latest move comes less than 1 month after she criminally referred 3 intelligence officials to the Justice Department for leaking to the New York Times and the Washington Post. Of course, now she referred them, but the DOJ hasn't done anything, to my knowledge. I remember when she did that, but I don't recall. I don't recall them doing anything. DOJ moving on it. Yeah, I hope Zuck loses his battle to keep IG as well. CRT mom caught that. Said that rod is deep. Yeah, I did say that, CRT mom. Uh, she's doing her thing. She's really trying to change things, change the culture. She was given a mandate by the people and also a mandate by the president of the United States to get things done a certain way, and she's moving like it. She is a true soldier. She's following orders as she always has during her military career. Um, as leadership in the military, she's not she's not fucking around. And you know, the mandate was to we got to clean this shit up. By the president gave her that mandate. That's what she's doing. I know. I'm glad you caught that. uh, but anyway, fam, we got things coming up. Like I said, Friday, General Mills, aka Canadian Black MAGA, is with us on Friday night, talking all things Canada. Our Canadian conservative cousin is gonna chill with us. We actually do have somebody. I got to talk to Red there. I forgot her name. uh, she's going to be with us on the 26th Memorial Day. We will have an episode on Memorial Day night, and you know, we got somebody coming in, young influencer. She's going to come hang with us. Red Day set it up. He's also got some shit set up for the 16th, I think, of June. Um, yeah, and Blondie's helping us out for some visitors. Visitors. Blondie's trying to help us out with some guests for June as well. So we're looking good. We'll be fine, fam. No Patriot panel this month or next month. Um, the real Tomly Booze is going to be in town the last Friday of the month with his wife. Not my town, but in America, vacationing, and he's going to be with us. I've invited him and his wife to come. He was already going to come hang with us, but I invited him to bring his wife on too, so we can hear about their how they feel about being in the U.S. They look. I know they're looking for land and whatnot. They're moving to the U.S. And they're trying to expedite that move. They want to get out of Britain very, very bad. You know, we've had him on the show, and he's talked about how bad it is in Great Britain. So, British cousin hanging with us at the end of the month. Canadian cousin hanging with us on Friday. And then next month, no Patriot panel because I will be the last Friday of the month. I am going to be on vacation. So the 27th and the 30th, I'll remind you all in June. There will be no shows, no Friday or Monday show. Just the Monday the 23rd and Wednesday the 25th. And I'm working on trying to start up the Warrior Wednesdays with my first guest. Just talking to him right now, trying to get up a time so that we can get that done. And what I'm going to be doing with Warrior Wednesdays is highlighting a veteran, talk about their service, and also talk about their success outside of the service, right? Whether they're an influencer, big influencer, whether they're a real estate agent, whatever it is, how they function. Because you hear every time you hear the Marxist state media talk about us, they think we're all batshit crazy. I don't know why, because that's not really we act like assholes, but we're not really all assholes. Um, and you know, I just want to bring and Hollyweird is always making portraying us as batshit crazies too, like we're just gonna fucking just end everything that gets put in front of us. It's just not so. So I'm trying to see if we can hire some people hire if we can bring some people in on the show to talk about their success, some whether they're wounded warriors or not, just to bring them on and you know get some diversity. But I'm trying to do that for Warrior Wednesdays. And it won't be every Wednesday. It'll just be like, you know, when they get an opportunity to come hang, it'll be that night. It'll be a Warrior Wednesday. But you guys will get the alerts on Instagram and you guys will see it on Rumble and YouTube before what do you call it? Before we go live, you'll see it. That's what we got going. Yeah, they lie about everything. They lie about everything, Rognina. They definitely do. But again, if you're looking for some good coffee, Scars and Stripes coffee, on my hat. I asked my sponsor to get me a black hat with the logo on it. It's like a rock on the shows. They came through with it, so I was pretty happy about that. Um, Got to bring Chad Watts back too, because he's been doing a lot of things. Uh, they've been very busy, Scars and Stripes. If you follow them on Instagram, they're constantly posting stuff. They bring their coffee everywhere. Scars and Stripes is just a good brand. They're trying to help veterans. They're trying with entrepreneurship. They're doing a lot of different things. And that's why I was like, you know, they came to me and told me they enjoyed my show, stuff like that. They like what we were doing, and you know, asked if you know I wanted to collaborate with them, and I was like, 100%. Faith, family, and friendship. That's what they're all about over at Stars and Stripes Coffee. So make sure you're signing up for the Discord, fam. Movie night Saturday. We are going to be watching The Saint, Rogue Nina and Jonathan. got it together and we figured it out. They came together and they made the decision. So the Saint it is on Saturday. That will be 8 p.m. Eastern, just like every show here, but that'll be on the Discord. So you have to sign up for the Discord. It's completely free. Um, no membership fees or anything like that. So you don't have to worry about it. I know some people charge for the Discord or the Patreon and all that other stuff. I don't have a Patreon. I'm not even planning to have one. But Discord is completely free. Come hang out with us on a movie night, especially this Saturday night. And then we do those every couple of weeks. We do one of those. And Jonathan's got like every single movie we need. If we could think of a movie, Jonathan will find it. He's good at that stuff. He's got like he's just got like 300 movies or some shit like that. It's crazy. So we should have fun with that. But anyway, fam, again, like and subscribe tonight, please. Um, hit that bell for notification so that you could know when it is that we're going live. And I'm looking to try to do, like I said, a Saturday show. I got to see what's up with that. Jesus. Jonathan says he has 8 terabytes of movies, shows, and anime. Holy crap. We're going to have to go over some of that list, Jonathan, and see if we can come up with. Maybe we can come up with an old show that we everybody liked, and we could every now and then just throw an episode in there. That'll be pretty dope to just watch a season or something. Yeah, we can do that. After we do a couple of movies, we should just come up with a show that we all want to watch and just do a season, and then see where it goes from there. That'll be kind of dope. Appreciate that. But anyway, like and subscribe, fam. Sign up for the Discord. We want you guys there. It's another place for us to continue these conversations with one another. I drop articles in there every day. Well, a little bit less recently because I started a new job, but like I had been dropping the stuff that I cover at night in case everybody works and whatnot. Yeah, that works. Yeah, you have the original Doctor Who. The original Doctor Who was good. I enjoyed the original Doctor Who's, and actually the first couple of seasons of when Doctor Who came back, the 90s was it? Late 80s, early 90s, into the 2000s. Was pretty dope too. But I like the original Doctor Who. Really. Base Blondie getting messed with again. You have everything up to Jody. Yeah, that's about when it gets to shit. Um, the original, good. We'll have to figure out we gotta figure out a series we can watch. That's I'm pretty sure we could come up with something. But anyway, fam, again, Friday night Canadian Black MAGA with me and Red Day. Um, you got you have the Tom Baker series, okay, sweet. Got it all, brother. Jonathan has it all. So if you're just joining us, we had a lot to talk about tonight. We got into a lot of stuff. Just in case you missed the type of stuff that the mainstream media is not going to get a hold of you in your home to tell you, right? Because they're just going to keep going on. Everything's about Trump. There's other shit that goes on in this world other than the shit with Trump, although he keeps things very, very interesting and he just continues to roll full tilt with shit. So, it's good to see uh, just a lot of shit in the news cycle. Like we'll be doing it again on Friday. Well, Friday we're going to be talking Canada. Uh, Maybe in the second hour we'll get into what do you call it? Some news from Friday, things that drop. So make sure you're following me. Make sure you're following Red Day, CRT Mom, who's been in the chat. Make sure you're following her if you're on Instagram. Rogue Nina. Make sure you're following. I did not see that, General Mills. What drink, brother? Yeah, he doesn't drink. So where did they offer him a drink? Did you send it to me? If you send me that video, I'll go get it. Yeah, but he doesn't drink, so that doesn't surprise me if he refused to drink. Like he hasn't drunk. I don't remember when was the last time he drank alcohol. Yeah, I didn't see that, man. Yeah. Oh, it was water and he didn't drink it. No, don't worry about it. We'll bring it up on Friday. I want to see that. Yeah, so he didn't want to drink the water in Saudi. Actually, yeah, that's that doesn't fucking surprise me that he would do that shit. That doesn't surprise me. I don't know if Chauvin's gonna be pardoned. I know that they're throwing that. I know they're throwing that uh, to ramp shit up in the nation, right? They want to get riots going again. Uh, so they're saying that Trump might pardon him. I don't know. You know, I personally don't think he really got a fair trial, right? He was already guilty. We all know he didn't kill George Floyd. Um, but we will see, right? We will see. Again, they're ramping people. They want to ramp their people up, get them out in the streets. The idea is to have another summer of love. It's around that time. Yeah, I know that. I know that Tim Walz and the National Guard, you know, um, the head of the National Guard for Minnesota, is ramping stuff up. I did hear that. I haven't really taken a look into it, but I know they're ramping up security in the state, and preparing for what could possibly another be another summer of love. Once it starts there, they're gonna spread it out all over. And Trump does do funny shit. He just does funny shit. He just stays that way. He does funny shit. So, all right, fam. Another rundown. Friday, Canadian Black MAGA. 30th, we have the Real Townley Booze. And I gotta get with Red Day, who we have on what do you call it, Memorial Day. But we will be having a show on Memorial Day, which is the 26th of this month. That is the last Monday of the month. Um, no Patriot panels, just gonna be Tomley Booze. Hopefully his wife will come and hang with us too. So we can get her input on how she feels being in the United States. Like I said, they're looking to get the hell out. All things Canada this Friday, fam. Our what do you call it? Our Canadian conservative cousin is coming to hang with us. We already had our conservative cousin from Britain hang with us. Now all we need is Ireland and Australia, and then we will be okay. We'll get the quadruple effect. I have to find an Australian. I reached out to somebody, but we will see if he gets back to me. It's a pretty big account, so I don't know. Big accounts don't answer back. They're like, yeah, whatever. We don't want to be on your little ass show. It's all good though, because I love all you guys anyway. You guys are awesome, hanging with us and whatnot. You guys have been ride or die with us for a minute now, so we appreciate you more than everything. Uh, if this community continues to grow, and I don't care if it grows slow or not, I just appreciate you guys just hanging out and being with us. That's what's important. But with all of that said, I am the Big Red One Guy signing out. And remember that together and only together can we break the machine. We must stick together. We must continue to fight. We must stay in the fight. We must never give up. God bless you all. God bless America. And I will see you all on Friday. Have a good night, fam.